changes my life. And I'm going to be honest, I wish I could say that I was thinking it was coming the whole time, but I was mentally preparing for 40 big blind poker, and somehow the river was a deuce, and the rest is history. So yeah, I'm thrilled.
I think the second biggest reaction we saw you have all night was when you put that 3-barrel bluff through early. What were you feeling in that, and was that really a big moment for you to feel like give you
well, before today started, Doug Pohl came up to me and was ribbing me, saying that he wasn't seeing much bluffing going on. So I had to put that to bed pretty fast, and I told him, be careful what you wish for, because he might have cost his buddy the pot. But no, I had a king of clubs, pretty good card to bluff with, and when you get to the river with king high and there's all those chips in the middle, and the way Ben was kind of short, so I went for it and got the fold. So I was very happy with that result in that hand, and yeah, I think I would play it the same way next time as well. So
there are a few other hands like that and three-handed, and certainly you dominated heads up. I mean, you were really praised for how you played tonight. Did you feel like you played the best tonight out of the 3 nights in the final table? Were you just feeling really...
I'm really happy with how I played tonight. With only 24 hours of turnaround time for preparation, it wasn't easy, but I'm lucky enough to have good resources, and I hit up a buddy of mine who's a really good three-handed heads-up poker player, and he kind of just gave me the ropes, and we went over what I should do, and I was coming out and just hoping to execute it, and I think tonight went really well. So really happy with the result, really happy with the deuce, because I was playing good, but I'm pretty tired of poker at this point, honestly, and to have to go back and battle pretty deep again, I wasn't looking forward to it. So it's a dream come true. That river was the best card you could ask for, and just ready to go celebrate with the people that came and supported me.
Scott, you had the lead pretty much the entire final table. In terms of just having that chip advantage, what did it do for you, I guess, for the last few days? How were you able to take advantage of it?
Yeah, so I feel pretty fortunate throughout the whole tournament to have a big stack, but that's what the main event allows you to do. I mean, I couldn't even imagine the amount of time I spent over 100 big blinds in this tournament. It might have been for, honestly, 80 to 90% of it, as crazy as it sounds. And especially at the final table after that tens hand, when we were 10-handed, that really put me in a good spot to try to win it. And I knew, when I made that call, I made that, I could have folded and came in the day with whatever and tried the ladder. But I made that call knowing that I wanted to win in mind. And I definitely think having a big stack allows you to put pressure on and increases your chances of winning for sure.
All things considered, is there a small part of you that wishes the tournament had ended on that 3-way all-in?
A big part, honestly. Jack was saying this is day 15 of this tournament, which, obviously I didn't play yet. I played day 1C, so discredit the first two, but it feels like an eternity, and you'll take that spot to try to win the tournament. I had the queen blocked, and all I had to fade was a king-9 or a queen, and king-9 or a 10, and the flop was pretty unkind in general. Left me with 3 outs, 4 outs, and 3 outs because he blocked one, and that was a little frustrating. But I just knew that my heads-up game was going to be good enough, and really happy to close it out eventually.
Scott, you're the first main event winner in more than a decade to not play in November. What do you think about changing to playing it out only after 2 days off this year?
I think I like it. I do like the fact that the quick turnaround. For starters, I feel like I was relatively prepared in general just to play it. So obviously it's a huge advantage if you feel that way, as opposed to someone who's coming in and might not be as prepared right away. Because in the 3 months period, you can learn a lot about this game. So I like it. I wish it was a little bit longer. I think 3 or 4 days is probably ideal, just to have a day of R&R, and then the rest is just poker. But I'm pretty happy that I was just able to come in and keep the momentum going and finish it off within the next week. So I do like it.
With $8 million coming your way, can we expect to see you at some high roller
You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Probably not. To be honest, we'll see. That could change, but I'm not. I don't have an ego in this game. I'm check my ego at the door. I know where I stand. I know 2 weeks ago I was just a New Jersey online grinder, and nothing's really changed. So having the money, I mean, am I going to play a little bit more live poker? Probably, but I'm probably going to choose where I go based on just more location and just what works for me as opposed to the buy-in of the tournament. So. So to answer your question, we'll see. But you never know. Being and adapting, and you have to kind of be on top of your game. And I had the pleasure of working with a bunch of really good poker minds that kind of helped me get to this point. And this is just one poker tournament. It takes variance and luck and playing your best, and all those things came together. And I'm happy to be the winner.
Talk about your rail, your support, and maybe mention a few of those people that were there for you during the preparation, but also here while it played out.
Sure. So first of all, I have to thank my parents for being supportive. They obviously there was a couple times where they wanted me to do something else, and I understood, and they understood that I didn't want to listen to them. So. For starters, them. Then I'd have to thank Chris Horder, Jamie Kerstetter, White Mike, that's a nickname, Jeff, for having me over their house for the last week, having me crash in their bed and talking poker. One of my good friends, Anthony Garofalo, who's been there from the beginning. Asher Conniff was a huge help. Brian Frasco. The list goes on and on. I feel bad if I left anyone out, but I love you. One of the coolest things from this whole experience, honestly, is one of my bigger fans now is one of my idols, honestly, Norm Macdonald. Comedian Norm Macdonald's a big poker fan, and right before the final table, somebody reached out and said, Scott is a big fan of yours. He's chip leader at the final table, and I responded, and we started talking, and we started direct messaging a little bit, and the money and the winning the poker tournament was cool, but just talking to one of your heroes online was a pretty cool experience before any of this even happened. So it's been a crazy ride. I couldn't do it without everyone who's had an impact on my life at some point, and I hope to be able to do the same to other people after this is over.
What kind of impact do you think the money will have on your life? Will it change things? Will it allow you to do other things that you were thinking about before this?
So yeah, I mean, money doesn't really motivate me. It doesn't drive me. I didn't want to win this thing for the $8 million. But with that being said, it's nice to have some freedom now. That was the goal, was to get to a point where I can do what I want, whatever I want to do. And I think I'm going to have that opportunity now, whether it's poker, whether it's business, whether it's, going back to school, whatever it is, I have the freedom to do that now. So that's the American dream in my eyes, and finding happiness is part of that. And we're on a good way to get there. So I'm just I'm still in shock, and yeah.